Welcome, friends. Today we're going to stroll through 7 Japanese cars that aren't just machines, they're moving poems. I'll talk with you like we're at a car meet, passing the coffee around, pointing at shapes and remembering the first time we saw them in motion. For each car, I'll paint a picture, ask a question to pull you in, and share the little human details that make each design unforgettable. Let's go. 1. Mazda RX-7 FD. The RX-7 FD is more than a car. It is sculpture on wheels. With its flowing curves, perfectly proportioned nose, and compact rear haunches, it embodies motion even when still. Pop-up headlights hide like secret smiles, and the graceful roofline sweeps back in a continuous line that speaks of balance and purpose. Inside, the driver is cradled in an intimate cockpit where controls are close and focused, reinforcing the car's connection to the person behind the wheel. The RX-7's proportions are taut without aggression, and the light plays across its flanks in soft ribbons, rewarding a slow walk around. Think of a dancer mid-turn. Every angle resolves into another, and you find new grace with each step. What draws people closer is not just the visual. It's how the car almost whispers that it's ready for a joyful, precise dance. Owners often speak about a tactile connection with the car, how the subtle feedback and lightness translate into a joyful, almost musical driving experience that complements its elegant exterior. 2. Nissan GT-R R35. The GT-R R35 projects an aura of determined purpose. Its bold, wide stance is emphasized by muscular fenders and a sculpted hood, while the quad-round taillights recall a storied heritage. The front fascia balances function and identity with dramatic air intakes, sharp creases, and a confident grille. From any angle, the GT-R reads as performance-ready, a machine that promises speed and precision. Yet it manages to feel contemporary and refined rather than purely brute. The roofline flows into a purposeful rear that anchors the car visually, and the proportions carve out an unmistakable silhouette in city lights or on an open highway. When you stand beside one, the GT-R makes you imagine engineering conversations. How to cool, how to channel air, how to keep composure at high speed. All of it wrapped in an exterior that looks purposeful and honest. The GT-R inspires loyalty because it combines raw capability with a surprisingly civilized demeanor. Passengers may feel sheltered even as the car hints at thunderous performance beneath the skin. 3. Toyota Supra 80/4 Malawian Quatches. The 4 Malawian Quatches Supra balances boldness with sensual curves. Its long hood, flowing fenders, and distinctive rear spoiler create an iconic profile that has defined generations. The smooth, rounded nose gently blends into taut midsections, and the rear quarters swell with confidence. Each surface seems deliberately composed to catch light and invite touch, while the distinctive twin-bulge hood and circular tail lamps stamp a memorable identity. The Supra's silhouette is both sporty and approachable, a car that looks like it wants to roar but is patient enough to be admired in a parking lot conversation. When enthusiasts speak of the 4 Malawian Quatches, they speak in reverent tones about how the design ages like a classic vinyl record, deep, textured, and pleasant to revisit. There's a sense of drama without pretense, an honesty in the way lines meet and the car's stance sits on the pavement. Fans of the Supra talk about how its design feels aged like wine, each curve gaining story and legend, and how its presence on the road is a quiet command to look and remember. 4. Lexus LC500. The Lexus LC500 marries grand touring luxury with dramatic design. Its low, prow-like nose and bold spindle grille make a striking first impression, while the sweeping roofline and sculpted flanks convey effortless motion. The cabin peeks through a coupe profile that feels both modern and refined. Sleek headlights and intricate detailing reward a closer look. The LC's surfaces transition with intentional tension, creating highlights and shadow lines that dance as you move around the car. Viewing it in late afternoon light, the roof and shoulders seem to glow. At night, the layered headlights and taillights offer the kind of detailing photographers chase. The LC doesn't shout. It composes. It feels like a grand piano of design, large, measured, and precise, yet playful in the way it handles surfaces. The LC feels like a piece of wearable art that moves. People slow to take a second look, and photographers find details that refuse to be ignored, from the layered light clusters to the way the roofline flows into the rear deck. 5. Honda NSX, an A1. The original NSX arrives with the quiet confidence of an engineering masterpiece. Its clean, aerodynamic silhouette and purposeful proportions exude calm capability. The cabin sits low and centered, and the car's lines are devoid of unnecessary ornamentation. Every curve serves a reason. Narrow, purposeful headlights and simple taillight treatments reinforce an aesthetic of precision. The NSX's beauty is subtle and restrained, a sophisticated form that rewards appreciation rather than immediate adoration. When you stand close, you notice the small, thoughtful touches. A gentle swell here, a precise crease there, and a profile that suggests speed without shouting. This is a car designed by people who cared about how the driver would feel, both emotionally and physically. The NSX's beauty is the kind that grows into affection. It rewards familiarity and insists on respect. Driving the NSX feels like entering a discipline where aesthetics and engineering agree. Every surface whispers the promise of exactitude, and owners talk about a car that humbles with its grace. 6. Toyota 2000 GT. The 2000 GT is a jaw-dropping classic, a sculpted expression of 1960s automotive art. Long, elegant lines, a low stance, and curvaceous shoulders give it the bearing of a classic grand tourer. The nose is precise, with delicate headlights and a refined grille, while the cabin sits snugly amid flowing bodywork that culminates in a graceful rear. The 2000 GT's proportions are near perfect, and it captures a romantic, cinematic energy that made it an instant star in its era. Walking around one feels like walking around a piece of timeless design. Each curve appears inevitable, as if the car could not have been drawn any other way. There's a human story in the 2000 GT too. The ambition of a young industry, the craftsmanlike attention to detail, and the idea that a car could carry national pride. Collectors prize it not only for rarity but because its lines still calm the eye and stir the imagination. The 2000 GT still stops conversations and evokes nostalgia. Collectors prize its lines not only for beauty, but because they represent a moment when design and ambition aligned perfectly. 7. Subaru BRZ/Toyota 86. The BRZ and its twin, the 86, celebrate purity of sports car design. Low-slung, compact, and perfectly proportioned, these cars emphasize lightness and driver engagement. The front fascia is friendly yet focused, with a forward-leaning stance that promises agility. Clean lines flow from nose to tail, punctuated by muscular hips and a taut roof profile that suggests a low center of gravity. Tail treatment is clean and purposeful, and the overall composition avoids flash for the sake of clarity. The design says, "We do less, better." In a crowd, a BRZ/86 won't demand attention aggressively, but it will earn it through posture and promise. Owners tend to form communities around the shared joy of simplicity, weekend canyon runs, mods that respect balance, and stories of first steps into real sports car driving. The BRZ/86 community appreciates how the car's simplicity translates into a pure, communicative bond. Its looks are honest and approachable, yet they carry a lasting charisma that grows with time. And that's for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Got thoughts, questions, or video ideas? Drop them down in the comments. I read every single one,